Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. My name is Vanessa. This is Ed. And you're listening to the Red Circle podcast.
Yes. And today we are going into one of our big things, ironically, is the food that they are feeding you to try and kill you.
Yes.
Yeah. They are trying to kill you.
Yeah.
With all the food. So we're going to get into that
It's kind of
today.
obvious, too, when you learn the things that they're feeding us and how it's all poison.
It's crazy. It's like how you don't even know what to eat anymore.
Yeah.
You don't even know what to eat anymore.
You have to make it all yourself.
Yeah, it's
and that's
crazy.
Rough.
It's crazy. And then, like, I don't understand why we're not all in arms. It's the boiling frog theory.
Yes, exactly.
That it's just happened so much over time, and they're really good at propagandizing us that we just don't pay the attention.
Mm-hmm. I think people, every time I explain something to somebody, like the food's poison, the water's making the frogs gay, the chemtrails in the sky, everyone's always like, but why? What's the point? Why would they poison us? I think that's the thing that people can't get over, is the why.
Well, fluoride is a really interesting one, and that's what we'll start with.
Okay. I'm excited to talk about this one.
So there's two types of fluoride.
Okay.
There's natural fluoride, which is like a rock.
Oh.
There's a rock called fluoride.
Okay.
And it's a natural occurring rock. Like, you can find it. It kind of looks like a crystal. It's like a little bit pinkish crystal.
Okay.
Okay. And that fluoride is not toxic. It's just the rock. It's just mineral.
Does that get into water?
Sometimes it's in rivers.
Okay.
So it might be in like rivers coming off of mountains and stuff, and caves, and like if you're in like Carlsbad Caverns, there's probably some of those crystals are fluoride.
Okay.
And then there's the chemical fluoride, which surprisingly has the same exact name, which is not the same thing. Okay, so we'll just get it twisted.
Okay.
And this chemical fluoride is mainly produced from the toxic waste byproduct of creating aluminum.
Yes. So it is.
It's very hard to make aluminum, very malleable and very flexible, and then so you can put it into a liquid cast and then make products.
Okay. So it is the byproduct. It's the trash that they make during the process. Okay.
Yeah. So and we've been making aluminum for years, like since the 20s. And in the 1930s, here in the United States, the major company was called Alcoa.
Okay, Alcoa.
Alcoa in the 1930s was the major producer of aluminum in the United States. And back then, all they would do is just pour it into the rivers.
The waste?
And then burn it into the sky.
Oh my God.
Okay. So
that tracks.
Yeah. So think about like the Industrial Revolution, the robber barons and all those guys. Like, they didn't care about the planet. There was no green tree huggers.
Yeah.
There was no green movement. There was no Aaron Brockovich. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, there was none of that.
Yeah.
So people in these towns and cities that had these big factories were getting sick. Their teeth were getting real brittle.
Oh.
Their teeth were getting real browned. So if you see kids and their teeth are kind of like jaggedy, like that, that's where it comes from.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Fluoride. Too much fluoride.
Yes. The chemical fluoride.
The chemical fluoride.
And the chemical fluoride, if you pour it on concrete, you could go watch videos. It will eat the concrete. It will eat almost anything. It will eat steel. It will eat. It's like they probably put it in the planes that supposedly ran into the Twin Towers. Horrible joke, but we're very appropriate here. Yeah. So yeah, it's very, very toxic. And then cows started getting sick, and like the cows, like they couldn't even move and walk. Their bones were so brittle.
Oh, geez.
It literally makes your bones brittle. So so they made this big propaganda campaign, and then they pumped it into the water treatment plants. They started putting it into our water in a certain percentage that wouldn't like make us all like totally die. Now, the first place that really put it into the water in Europe was during the Nazis' Germany. They put it into the water because it also makes you very docile. So the Nazis put it into the different places where they would take them over, and they would pour it into their water supply. That was the first time they really started pouring it into their water supply. Wow. So this company, Alcoa, made a deal with Crest and made a deal with a bunch of doctors.
Yeah.
And they started pouring this chemical byproduct into the water. And supposedly it was good for our teeth. And they did all these commercials and they did all these things. It's kind of like, you know, cigarettes were good for you, right? If you have a sore throat, oh, you should go smoke a couple cigarettes.
They would even tell pregnant women to smoke cigarettes to keep their babies small.
Yeah.
So that it wasn't so hard on labor. Yeah.
It's insane, all the stuff that people were sold, and then now they're like, oh, trust the scientists.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
No. Well, even with fluoride too, they say that like there are studies about how it's helpful.
Yeah.
There are no studies.
They still do it in the dentist office.
Yeah.
They do fluoride washes.
Well, and Sephra and I were talking about this.
Yeah, because the girls, they got in, like Sephra got in an argument with the
dentist.
The dentist, the hygienist. He wasn't even a real dentist. He was like the assistant guy, whatever they're called.
I think it was like the hygienist.
Yeah.
And I only recently learned that fluoride is not good. So my kids have had the fluoride treatments.
Oh.
I've had all of those done. We still have a tube of toothpaste that has fluoride in it. Like we're still like transitioning out of fluoride. Jake still wants it. I don't know. I'm like, no, we're not doing fluoride anymore. But looking into it and realizing things
that propaganda is strong.
It's so, you just told all your life. It helps your teeth. It makes your teeth stronger.
All dentists agree.
All dentists agree. Exactly. And my kids still got cavities. Cavities is more about leaving food in between your teeth, you know, not cleaning them properly. And we eat so many carbs in the American diet. Like the dentist was telling us, the number one food to give kids cavities is goldfish. You'd think it's candy, you'd think it's lollipops. No, it's goldfish, because it's carbs, it's sugar. It gets really sticky and pasty, and it gets stuck in the teeth, and then you don't brush it. So you need to brush your teeth, you need to floss to get all that stuff out. That's the thing you need to do.
That's really interesting.
So my kids still get cavities, and they've had fluoride all their lives.
Yeah, we don't have.
So how is it working?
We don't have any. Our kids really haven't used fluoride, I don't think, ever. Even when I go to the dentist, I bring my own toothpaste.
So that when they're cleaning you up, you use.
Yeah, I give them my Tom's toothpaste.
Yeah. Well, and you know what's interesting too? They tell you very specifically when your kid's first learning how to use toothpaste, they swallow it. So get the fluoride-free stuff, because it will mess up their stomach if they're swallowing too much.
It literally says on the toothpaste, if you swallow it, go see like a doctor immediately.
It does. Look it up on your toothpaste, on your fluoride toothpaste. It says that. And pediatricians
we put this in the mouth with our kids.
Like. Yeah. Yes.
It's crazy.
But like if you look up the studies, there's no studies. So they're telling you that this is scientifically proven, but where?
And then fluoride's in our water. Not even just our toothpaste. You get a bottled water, it's in your water.
No.
Bottled water, purified water, has fluoride in it. Damn. Yeah. So why do I know? Because I called them.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. So if you look on your.
We don't have one in here.
On your water bottle.
There's a number. Yeah.
There's a number, and you just call it.
and ask them questions.
And you'd be like, hey, what's the percentage of fluoride in your bottled water?
Wow. Mm-hmm. And they don't say that there's fluoride in water, in bottled water. They don't say that. A lot of times they'll say like minerals to taste, but they don't tell you what minerals.
Yeah, and so they put it on the afterward after they boil it or reverse osmosis it, spring water as well. So your water is tainted. Okay. Now, to get entirely out of bottled water in itself is a big thing. Because even on top of that, bottled water is shipped from God knows where in trucks that are not insulated. So they just get over hot.
Yeah.
And that plastic is leaching into your water, and then you're drinking plastic.
You're consuming it. Well, and then to sanitize the bottles, I think I had told you about this. In the factory process to fill up the water bottles, they throw in the water is hot. It's scalding hot to kill all the germs in the bottle. So it starts off hot, leaching the plastic
so there's not even any way to start.
No. And I would always think, oh, I just won't buy water bottles from gas stations because they leave the pallet out.
I hate that.
In the hot sun. And I'm like, oh, I just won't buy there. I'll buy from Sam's. No, the process to get there, the process to put it in, it's all tainted. And then you're drinking microplastics.
And then now, even a lot of plumbing, we're using PEX, which is water in plastic tubes instead of copper, right? Because the old school way is copper. You know, so the thing that I do is I put I have a Berkey water filter system, and then I buy the fluoride filters. Now, the problem with the fluoride filters is they're only good for like 6 months.
So you're constantly having to switch them out. Are they expensive?
They're like $60, $70.
So $10 a month.
Yeah. It's not that expensive when you really think about it, but it is it's a hassle to change it and do all that stuff. But like the vast majority of people that are drinking water are just overly drinking fluoride. And especially if you have any mental disorder. And maybe that's what we're going to talk about today. Is that a lot of these things that I'm going to talk about on my sheet here are specifically about mental disorders.
Whoa.
So fluoride is like the number one thing. So if you think about any mental disorder is from metal exposure, an over amount of metal in your body.
Wow.
Yeah. So fluoride is one of those things. One thing that you can do if you don't have a water filter is, sounds crazy, I would do this just as an example. Take a glass of water, okay, like a regular glass of water, and fill it up with tap water, and then leave it out overnight. And then the next morning, get another glass of water, fill it up with tap water, and then taste the difference. Immediate.
It does taste different.
Because the fluoride evaporates out of your water into the air.
Whoa.
Yeah.
How long do you need to let it sit out?
I don't know. I haven't, like, it's not a scientific method.
Yeah.
But I had a friend that works at a water treatment plant, and he says you could do that.
Ah, that is cool.
Yeah. So it won't evaporate all of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's one way to do it. Because all of your water is like in a closed system before it gets to your house.
Yeah.
So it's not evaporating.
No.
So like one thing I do with my Berkey is I put the water in there, and then I'll leave the lid out. And then I'll come back like a couple hours later, and then I'll put the lid on.
Yeah.
You know, to get the fluoride out.
Yeah.
Whoa. So
that's smart.
It's funny because most people don't like to drink water that has sat out.
Yeah, because we're used to the taste of it the other way. It tastes
chlorine,
stale, chlorine-y, weird. Yeah.
Yeah. If you
El Paso water's very full of chlorine.
Yeah. It's because we have a huge water treatment plant. So we have a lot of solids in our water.
Yeah, we have a lot of minerals and things like that.
Yeah, our water is very brackish.
Yes, it is. Sometimes you'll turn on like I'll fill the tub for the girls when they were little. And when it was full, I'd turn it off and it smelled like a pool. You don't even realize how much is in it unless you're around quite a bit of it. And it smells like a pool. It's gross.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can also get those things for your showers.
Those are carbon.
Yeah, but they don't do the fluoride. It doesn't take out the fluoride.
Okay. Activated charcoal. Yes. And those are not expensive. What do those take out? Do you know?
It takes out the chlorine and minerals. So it just does a filtration system that's different from what they're doing. So what they're doing is they're taking out the heavy solids and like they're cleaning it to water, okay, at the water treatment plant. And then they're chemically putting a bunch of stuff in there, mainly chlorine, to kill everything in the water. And then they're filtering that, and then that's really what you drink. That's what it is. You know, they're not doing like reverse osmosis or distilling the water. You know what I mean? They're not doing any of that stuff.
It's filtering out the big stuff, killing what they can with chemicals, adding fluoride to the mix for whatever reason. Okay.
Yeah, fluoride for sure. Yeah, so that's the main thing. Now, a couple things. It also produces ammonia.
The
process of aluminum, and it produces what's the other one? Methane, like methane gas. Okay. So that's pretty much the main thing. So the one thing I would say is you can get filters for your showers. You can get filters for your water, your drinking water. That's the main thing. You know, we take way too many showers anyway.
I know. I shower twice a day.
You do?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
Right after Zumba, and then sometimes if I feel gross before bed.
And then you know, we take long showers. Yeah. That's the thing. Is like I try and take a quick shower.
Yeah.
I just jump in and out. You know what I mean? Yeah. I do like the cowboy shower. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So everything to me is like chemical exposure. So I'm looking at like I'm getting chemically exposed.
You know, it's crazy. So with different places in the U.S. that are having issues with their water, like the East Palestine, all of those different places, Flint, also Michigan, they're telling people you cannot drink the water, but you can bathe in the water. How does that make sense? If I was told that, absolutely not. That doesn't make sense. Like, no. The
Why
scientists
do the people
say,
stay there?
Well, I mean, imagine trying to sell your house and then moving somewhere. If people,
if my city is trying to kill me,
I would leave too. Like, I would
be like, I'd rent it for whatever price and just.
But what if you can't rent it?
Well, then buy.
Yeah, because my life is worth more. It's more important. I'd leave everything. I agree. But I think it's hard for some people because they're mentally.
Before my credit gets screwed, I'll do it.
Okay, let's do this quick.
And I have like 85 rental properties, you know what I mean? So like, I'd be like, whatever, just sell what I can get and then move on and get an RV and
do what you can do. 100% because your life is worth.
Yeah, and my kids' life.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I think I have a job and I have a house and I can't just leave, but you can.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah. I think it's easy for people to get in a I think they get in a mindset. I think that they don't realize too, like the second I saw that fire and all those chemicals and they evacuated people, but then they started moving people back in because they still needed to go to work and they still need to do this, that, and the other. We'd be out. Absolutely not. Bye. Yeah. But it wouldn't be easy because your kids are out of school. Where are you going to live? But you do what you have to do to survive. Another thing, I follow this Instagram account where this guy follows the stock purchases of senators.
Oh, wow. And Nancy Pelosi, that's the number one.
Nancy Pelosi. So like a week, don't quote me on this. It was like a week after East Palestine, she sold a bunch of stocks and she bought a bunch of stocks in a company that specializes in cancer treatment. And this guy was speculating that because of all the stuff going on in East Palestine, because it's not just there. It's all of the air, it all around, and then all of the water. Because
it's also the train thing.
Yes, exactly.
All that stuff's been happening.
All of that. And it's the water, too, because the water flows, all of these rivers flow down. So all of those states underneath Ohio, all the way down, are getting water from that source. So he was speculating that she did that because she thinks that there's going to be a lot of cancer coming up because of all of that.
Wow.
And I was like, yes, I agree.
I agree
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And so it's not just that city, it's everybody affected by the air and everybody affected by the water all the way down. And then you think about it, you buy bottled water. Let's say like they think that that's going to be safer. Where are the bottled water facilities? Where are they getting their water from? The only one that I know where their water is from is Ozark. It's a Texas brand. And I know about it because I have family members that live there. And Ozark, when they moved in, they tapped into their water supply and they drained it. The people had wells because it's out in the middle of nowhere. And, 60, 80 foot, 100-foot wells. You had to dig deeper to like 300 feet because Ozark is taking all of their water. That is crazy. You never think about something like that.
Yeah, I watched a whole documentary on it in Netflix.
About that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not about Ozark. It was talking about Nestle.
Oh, okay.
That Nestle keeps getting kicked out of cities.
Yeah.
Because they'll go to cities and then they'll take their water and just pump it out and then...
Yeah, they bottle it, ship it out, and then they don't have water. But the cities that allow those factories to come in, why? Don't let them come in.
Just for money.
They don't think about it, I don't think. I think they're like, oh, this is going to be great. We get jobs. They push it as you're going to get jobs. But then you don't have water.
Yeah, then you all die.
Yeah. It's not great.
It's ghost towns. It's ghost towns. So you had something you wanted to talk about that you did research on, and then I'll go into food dyes.
Okay. Oh, those are terrible. So I have made... So when it comes to fluoride and toothpaste and different things, because we're talking about teeth, I've gone through the process to learn a little bit more about making your own toothpaste. Because when you realize that they're poisoning you with everything, the next step is to kind of make your own stuff. And so with teeth, some of the things you want to think about, you're not just cleaning your teeth. You do clean your teeth, obviously, with your toothbrush, with your floss. And I didn't know that there's fluoride in the floss too. Ed was telling me that. I'm like, dang, now I got to think about that. So you don't think about it.
Yeah.
And I don't floss as much as I should.
Yeah, don't do mouthwash.
Oh, and mouthwash is terrible for you because it kills everything that's good in your mouth. And a huge percentage of people that use mouthwash daily, I forget, I was listening to this thing and they were talking about it, get some kind of disease that's not related to the mouth, but they're correlating it to over killing the biome in your mouth. Yeah.
Like stomach cancer or
something
like
crazy. I have to look it up. I don't remember. But it was just like, whoa, crazy. Your mouth is very important because if there is infection in your mouth, it could get into your bloodstream, go to your brain, go to your heart. That happened to my mom's brother. He had a lot of infection in his mouth and his heart stopped. Yeah. So you have to really clean your mouth. And so you don't want to be overly abrasive with the cleaners. If you look up different recipes on how to make your own toothpaste, they all use baking soda. I don't use baking soda because it's very abrasive and it could take off your enamel. So I think about preserving, think about gently cleaning, and then you want to think about feeding those bones because these are bones, right? And they're very, very porous. And you want to keep as much, of your enamel as you can, things like that. So nothing that's abrasive. I use a lot of coconut oil. And when I started oil pulling, I felt amazing. My teeth felt stronger. And they've even talked about how you can oil pull and like it sucks out stuff from your gums. Yeah, because coconut is antibacterial, and it feels like my whole mouth was healthier. I really, really like oil pulling, and the way you do that is I like coconut oil the best So you get unrefined.
You can use olive oil too,
You
right?
can, I believe so. I like coconut.
I know
the
coconut's
best.
the best.
Yeah. Some people use, I think, sunflower oil too.
I don't like sunflower
I don't like
oil.
sunflower oil, and I think it's
I don't
very,
like seed oil.
Exactly. It's very
I don't trust seed oil because of Rockefeller.
inflammatory. Yes. Yeah, so it's not good for you. But I really like coconut oil a lot. Unrefined, it smells like coconut. That's the kind you want. You put a scoop of it. It is hard. What's the word?
Yeah.
When it's heated up, it's liquidy. So you'll put a scoop in your mouth and you'll kind of chew it up and make it liquid. The texture is awkward. If you're a texture person, get used to it because it's good for your teeth. So you're going to leave it in your mouth. I did 10 minutes. Some people do 20 minutes, 30 minutes. You just swish it around, chew it up. It'll get liquid.
The crazy thing is what you see comes out of your mouth.
Yeah. And I do oil pulling after I brush. So my teeth are clean. I'll floss, brush, and then oil pull. And because I want to kind of keep that on my teeth. Some people will oil pull first and then brush because they don't like the way it feels, but I like it on my teeth. Spit it out in the trash. Do not spit it out in your sink because it'll solidify when it gets colder and you'll gunk up your sink. Yeah, so don't. That's like a must. Don't even risk it. Spit it out in the trash. And remineralizing your teeth also. There's a bunch. Let me look this up real quick.
Yeah, you could do like, you could put like, there's a good salt that has a lot of minerals in it. There's that seaweed stuff.
Is it the moss? Yes.
That's in the ocean, and it has like 99% of all minerals, something like that. Really good stuff.
Exactly.
And you can blend it up, put it in there. I've also seen people, like, if you go to fancy restaurants, they'll put parsley on your food.
Parsley, yeah.
Because parsley is made to like clean your mouth. You know, parsley, spearmint, all the stuff that they actually put in normal toothpaste, you could put in your toothpaste mix.
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
Cloves.
Yes, clove is very, very good. If you have a cavity and it hurts, you could put clove oil on it, and it will help. I don't know if it helps heal. I think it kind of does, but it also helps with the pain. It's a natural way to do that. Okay, so some of the ingredients you can use. This is the number one. Bentonite clay. That is like, if you could only use that, use that. And it's a powder, and you just put it on your toothbrush and you can brush your teeth with it, and it's not too abrasive. Other people like cacao powder.
Like literally like like chocolate powder.
Yeah, but like without it, just the powder, because it's very bitter.
Don't get the Hershey's.
No, that's sugar. Don't do that.
You're like, I brush my teeth with Hershey's chocolate.
Exactly. Some people, to make it not to taste a little bit better, they'll add xylitol. Don't do that. You don't need it to taste good. You need it to keep your teeth healthy. Like, I think that's another thing with health. People want it to look pretty. People want it to taste pretty. No. What is its purpose? If you want it to be minty, add some mint essential oils. You know, things like that. Like,
and mint grows very good.
It does. It's a weed.
We have mint in our backyard.
Yeah, it just keeps going and going. You
gotta isolate mint.
You have to, because it'll choke out other plants. And calcium powder. And some people suggest magnesium oil as well. And then clove essential oil. So you can look up a bunch of different ingredients and really think about what ingredients you want to put in it, because like this suggestion right here, they added xylitol. That's a fake sugar that's bad for you. You don't need it to be sweet. You need
People
it to
are so
clean your teeth.
addicted to sugar.
Yes, they even in their freaking toothpaste. It's crazy. It doesn't make any sense. So just don't be too abrasive. Clean your teeth. Get all of that stuff off of it. And it feels different. Like when you use a toothpaste from the store, you have this feeling in your mouth that like, oh, it's clean. Or even
it gets a foamy.
Yeah, it gets foamy for whatever reason. It feels
I heard
cleaner.
people, they put peroxide
yes
in their toothpaste to give you a little bit of foaminess.
Yeah, that's smart. Yeah, you can add that to add the foaminess to it. And peroxide does whiten as well. It does kill germs. So maybe not too much, but I used to rinse with peroxide, and it really, really made my teeth very shiny. So yeah, think about what you're putting in your stuff. It doesn't need to, it won't feel the same. It will not feel the same. It will feel different, and that's okay. And especially when you're making your own things, we're used to textures, we're used to colors. There doesn't need to be a fancy blue green color in your toothpaste. That's not necessary, but that's what we're used to. Even with skincare, I love skincare products, and all of the brands that I use do not add um, scents, because the scents are really very toxic. And so it's not necessary. Your face cream does not need to smell like Island Breeze. That's not a necessary thing. Your body lotion, you want yourself to smell good, but it's not necessary. And those things are the things that make it very toxic. A lot of the scents make things toxic. Oh, there's this app called Think Dirty.
Oh.
I know. And I love this app.
Don't Google this app.
Google it. You're going to love it.
Yeah, you might get something else.
It's a really, really cool app.
Maybe search it exactly.
ThinkDirty.com
app. Okay. So in the App Store.
It's in the App Store. So
okay,
you download it.
Don't Google this.
Think Dirty. Don't do that.
Because you would get different things.
Yeah, probably. So when you download this app, you can actually...
At work, your boss is going, you search Think Dirty 6 times.
What are you doing? So this app is really, really cool. And I use it a lot. And I've learned a lot about the chemicals that are in our products. So you download the app.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
okay.
It's about clean products.
Okay.
So there will be like on the product, like let's pretend this is shampoo. You'll scan the barcode. Pantene shampoo. Scan it. Beep. It will pull up that exact product, and it will tell you on a scale of 0 to 10. 0, I think 0 to 3 is clean, and then everything higher is not clean product. But it'll give you a scale, a number of what it ranks at, and it will tell you all of the toxic ingredients that are in it. Yeah, it's awesome. So cool, because so many brands pretend that they're clean, like Burt's Bees. Different
oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, different brands pretend that they're clean and that there's no chemicals. And number one thing, if it's highly fragranced, 100% it's toxic for you. But it'll actually go into the ingredient list and it'll tell you this ingredient is toxic, this is what it does. It stops your endocrine system from being able to, this one right here, down here, Think Dirty.
Okay, so just so you guys know, you don't have to put the whole word Think Dirty. You just put Think and then it'll pre-populate it.
Oh, perfect. Were you in the App Store?
Okay,
cool.
So I'm downloading it right now.
Yeah, it's great. And I started using it like 5 years ago, and it was not very robust. But now there's a lot more products. And if you have a product that isn't like on all the shelves, you can put in the ingredient list, a picture of it, and then they will add it to their database.
Wow.
Yeah, so that helps a lot. And it'll tell you this fragrance hurts your endocrine system. This ingredient gives the suds in your shampoo, but it also hurts this. This can be very that. And you can learn about the products. And that is one of the things that's helped me make better choices with the products that we purchase. And the number one thing that is bad for you is fragrance. So,
like cologne and perfume?
Yeah, all the fragrance that they put in the products, like your lotion.
Oh,
highly
fragrance.
Highly fragrance. Stuff? But cologne and perfume is chemicals, and it's bad for you.
Really?
Yeah. In laundry detergent, like one of the biggest things that's bad for you is the fragrance in it. It disrupts your endocrine system, so you can't make hormones properly.
Really?
Yes. And your number one organ on your body, the biggest, is your skin. And we're just slathering it with hormone disrupting,
especially lotion,
chemicals. You know what I want to start using as lotion? I saw this and I want to try it. Beef tallow, fat. It's rendered so it doesn't have a smell, and it's really, really nourishing to our skin. A lot of the things that you put on your skin aren't even nourishing. It's you just put like a layer of like protection, but it doesn't soak in and make you better. Beef tallow, fat, will get in there and really, really nourish your skin. It doesn't smell amazing. It doesn't smell like roses. It doesn't smell bad.
It's like you're going to come around and be like, I feel hungry for a steak.
I really want a brisket.
I really want some barbacoa.
Yeah. But it's really nourishing. And when you render it down, you take out all of the...
This is healthy skin for women right here.
Yes. I love skincare. Yeah. So I want to render some fat and try to do it.
Well, you'll definitely be attracted by a lot of men.
Oh, yeah.
And men will be like, I like that.
I like this chick. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about her. It's not my personality.
Yeah, yeah. And then you'll be repelling all the vegans and
which is not necessarily a bad thing.
You'd be like, ew.
Oh, what's wrong with her?
I don't know what's wrong with her.
Yeah, but people with skin issues are using beef tallow.
Don't you care about the planet?
Yeah, I do. More than you, Becky. People with like eczema and different issues are just putting beef tallow.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Tallow?
Tallow. It's fat. People cook with it.
Is it like manteca? Or no. What's that one? The it's like the white manteca. What is it called?
It looks similar to that.
Yeah.
But kind of like what you did.
What is that called?
I don't know. It's fat.
Yeah.
What
it's a blue it's like a blue can.
Yeah.
And it's I can't think of
it. I mean, and that's just fat.
Like lard.
Yeah, it's a thing of lard. I bet you that would work. I haven't even thought about that. I just like trying to make my
It'll be the cheapest.
Exactly, because it is very inexpensive.
Yeah, lard.
But what you know how you rendered bacon fat and it took a while? It's basically that. Wow. But it's a process. You have to melt it down, you have to sift it, you have to put it in water, and like all the stuff will come out. You have to do it like several times to get all of the stuff out, and then you're left with a really pure fat. You can put it on your skin.
Go figure.
Yeah.
I know people are putting olive oil
in their hair
and their skin too.
Yeah, it's because it's fat. That's the thing. Like with lotions, you need.
And then lotion's expensive.
It is expensive, and it's chemicals.
Yeah. That's why I use soap that doesn't have any chemicals, any flavor, any fragrance, anything. It's just soap.
Yeah, and people don't feel like they're clean unless they have a fragrance on them, but that's not true. And that's a mindset shift. And when you make your own products, you can add essential oils to things, but it's just not necessary. You know, it's just we're used to smelling a certain way, and it's not necessary.
Yeah, it's true. All right, let's get into the next one, and we'll do an episode where we'll talk about making some of these products.
Yeah, it's fun.
I think that'd be fun.
It's very easy.
Yeah. We've done we did the dishwashing soap and laundry soap.
And Sephra was saying her washer smells better now.
It does. It doesn't smell bad.
Yeah, because all of the things that are in liquid detergent specifically gunks up the inside of your washer.
Wow.
So using...
It's all oil.
It's all oil and it's gunky, nasty
It's
stuff.
all Rockefeller-derived crap.
Yeah, and all the fragrance and everything disrupts your system. It just clogs you up.
We're turning into hippies, aren't we?
I've been a hippie for a while.
Okay. I am not dyeing my hair.
You're a hippie.
I am not dyeing my hair.
You're a little hippie.
I do walk outside with my shoes off.
Yeah, you got to ground.
Okay, so food dyes.
Okay.
Food dyes, I think, is one of the major things that is under the radar of a lot of people.
And when people talk, like I've heard a lot of moms talk about how food dyes affect their kids' behavior, and it sounds like woo-woo hippie weird stuff. But I think they're right. But the first couple times I heard about it, I'm like, your kid's just bad and needs a spanking.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of that too. There's a lot of that too. But I think a lot of these kids, they're they have horrible diets, and if they don't get the proper nutrients for their diet, they are just gonna have behavioral issues and mental issues.
Yes.
There's like even my little girl, sometimes she'll be like, I can't do it, you know, and she's trying to do her homework and she's just getting frustrated because she can't concentrate anymore, especially because of the phone. And because of TV and the flicker rate of TV and the immediateness of everything. That's why I like when your girls come over, because then I take the
the tablets,
TV and the
everything
tablets.
away.
I'm like, go
Go outside.
outside, you
Play
know,
with the goats.
go to the playroom, you know, go fight with each other, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then they get more socialized,
Socialized.
and then they get more used to actually communicating
Mm-hmm.
and having fun without technology. You
Yeah.
don't need
No,
technology
use
to
your
have fun.
imagination.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's fine. Like go get a stick, you know, and chase each other. You know what I
They do
mean?
really good.
Yeah. What was that thing they did the last time where they
I'm like, which one, Ed? Just
they
tell me.
they got the water hose and they sprayed
Yes,
each other.
I go outside and the two little ones.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because Sephra and I we have this list. After every time we come over,
Mm-hmm.
we have to add another thing of don't do this to the list.
Okay, guys.
You're going outside. Don't open the chicken coop.
Yeah.
Don't play with the chickens.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go into the goat enclosure.
Mm-hmm.
Don't turn on the water hose. Don't turn on the water hose. The other day they were playing with the chalk.
Mm-hmm.
Again, they're not allowed to use the water hose.
Mm-hmm.
So they wanted to clean off your rock wall.
Oh yeah. I saw it outside.
Yeah, so they chalked up the rock wall and they wanted to clean it. So they come in and they get the expensive Clorox wipes. And they're Clorox wiping.
Oh no.
There was a pile. I was like, guys, no.
That's why there was one.
Yes.
I noticed today I was watering the trees, and there was a Clorox thing inside of because we have like bricks that go around the trees, you know.
Yeah, that's
and there was a Clorox. I'm like,
and they're they're not allowed to use a water hose. So the next thing they thought of is a wet wipe. And look, I mean, I get it. It's just like, okay, what else? So, and they're not allowed to take blankets outside anymore because they took out a very expensive Sherpa blanket and it got full of grass. And you cannot clean Sherpa blankets. Like they just are, they're beautiful and they're awesome and they're
I don't even know what a Sherpa blanket is.
It's kind of like that really soft, almost like sheep woolly type of material. And the second you wash it, it's ruined. If you guys know how to wash a Sherpa blanket, let me know. Because I ruin them immediately. The second time they're washed, they're just a clump of nasty.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Jake got me a really beautiful robe, and the inside was Sherpa. And by the second time I washed it, I just don't wash it. But then I don't wear it because it's going to get dirty. But so they took a Sherpa blanket outside, and they were laying under the stars. They're so cute.
I don't even know what Sherpa is.
But the water hose, they're just soaked. That was one of the days.
Yeah, so that's what you want. You want those stories.
They have so much fun.
You know?
Yes.
So I'm just going to list off all of these different dyes that are in our foods.
And our food does not need to be bright red. Our food does not need to be purple. Yeah. Your breakfast does not have to have rainbow colors. But we are so used to everything. Like your yogurt does not need to be bright pink. It's not necessary, but we're used to it. And people won't buy it unless it's bright pink. And it needs to be a mindset shift. That's why they're doing it. It's marketing. Because people won't buy it.
Like, you ever seen the marketing thing where they have milk in the cereal, but that milk is actually glue because it's more white?
Yes. Oh, yeah. All the pictures that they take, the product photos.
It's like milk. It's like glue.
Yeah, it's glue so that they can, it looks white and beautiful, and then they can have the cereal lay on top. Because cereal doesn't lay on top. Cereal goes under and then gets mushy and gross.
Okay. So you have blue number 1.
Okay.
You have blue number 2. And there's the blue number 1 is called brilliant blue. And blue number 2 is called indigo carmine. And then you have citrus red number 2. Green number 3, fast green FCF. Orange B, no longer used in US, but was never officially banned. Red number 3, and there's a fancy term for it. Erythrosine. Red 40.
You hear a lot about Red 40.
Red 40 is a big one. Allura red. Yellow 5, Tangerine. Yellow 6, sunset yellow. So these are the 5. These are, I don't know how many that is. It's like 9 different major colors. And they're in almost everything. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple of things that they do that's bad for you. So number one, it increases inflammation, and it disrupts the functionings of the immune system.
Like, why?
Yeah.
Why would we eat something that
how do
disrupts your immune system?
How do they keep doing this? Contains cancer-causing toxins and contaminants. Mm-hmm. May cause cancerous tumors developed. Some of the most commonly used food dyes are linked to many different forms of cancer.
Mm-hmm. They're carcinogens.
Mm-hmm.
And causes we're eating them.
Hypersensitivity, especially in children. Mm-hmm. You see that kid that can't control himself?
Yeah.
Artificial food dyes have also been shown to negatively impact the functions of the liver and vital organs, interfere with digestive enzymes that our bodies produce, and help properly break down the food that we eat, increase intestinal permeability, aka leaky gut, mm-hmm. linked to respiratory disorders such as asthma and bronchitis, and negatively impacts nerve cell development. Mm-hmm. Wow. So it's pretty much like, and there's like a whole link here to the studies.
Yeah.
If you want, I can.
And even the things that you don't think would need
food coloring
have it. Like, to make things extra white, they'll add blue because it makes it brighter. Even with like bath bombs, with my business, I would make bath bombs, mm-hmm. and I would get natural colors. But when I was trying, because I use baking soda, mm-hmm. and in the ingredient list for making a really white bath bomb, everybody suggests adding blue. It brightens it. So even like read the ingredient list. A lot of times not all the ingredients are even on the list, which is BS. Mm-hmm. But you'll see things that don't need to have color, mm-hmm. and it all has added color. It's not necessary. Mm-hmm. Why are they adding these toxins to our food?
And that's why I like the best thing about diet is what I told you that one time, mm-hmm. is you eat on the outside of the grocery store.
Yes. That's the freshest stuff.
They're not doing that to meat.
Yeah.
They're not doing it to fruits and vegetables. You know what I mean?
They're doing stuff to them, but
they're
not
doing
that
stuff, not this stuff, right? So they're not fluoriding them. They're not super processing them. You know what I mean? Like, if I took an apple and I took like a box of cereal, mm-hmm. like you're night and day in the level of exposure to all the problems. Mm-hmm. Like, even with all the pesticides that are in apples or mm-hmm. whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you get a natural apple, you are light years ahead of your average person that is eating cereal.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And I remember going on diets when I was in high school, and everybody would say, eat cereal. Like, eat, not like the sugary stuff, but like, look how much has, look at the ones that have high fiber. And eat those.
Yeah.
And so I would just eat cereal for like a week, and I would feel like shit. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I'd lose like a couple pounds. It just wasn't worth it. Mm-hmm. And a lot of it was the Special K strawberry one. Mm-hmm. Those strawberries.
I don't even know if those are
They add dye to all of it still, and it should just be a strawberry. Anything that's blueberry is not even a real blueberry.
Really?
Yeah, strawberries, a lot of times it will be a real strawberry, but if foods that have blueberry, there's 0 blueberries in it. It's blueberry flavoring, which is chemicals.
Wow.
And then they have chunks, and it's not blueberry. I don't know what those are, but it's not blueberry.
And you know what's crazy is that you can see, you can look up on YouTube and stuff, and you can check and see how they create these flavorings. Mm-hmm. They can create anything to taste like anything. You know what I mean? It's like magic. It's like
science.
It's like these healthy supposed carbonated drinks that are flavored somehow, but it has no ingredients.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, how is it flavored?
What is the flavor?
Like, it tastes like, coconut.
Yeah. Essence of coconut.
Yeah, and you're like, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Why don't you just put coconut in it?
Yeah.
Like, coconut's not bad.
No.
Yeah.
Well, and then they want the no sugar, because so many people are obsessed with no fat, no sugar. But just because something says it doesn't have sugar doesn't mean it's not sweetened. So if it doesn't have sugar, it probably has
fructose corn syrup.
Yes, it probably has a different sweetener that is very bad for you. Or monk fruit. Monk fruit isn't as bad for you. It doesn't just spike your sugar. But read it. Read the xylitol is terrible for you. Do not use that. It's bad for you.
Yeah, there's a couple different. Like, it's funny, you go, like, you'll be at a restaurant and people will put sugar in their coffee, which I drink my coffee black, generally.
You think you're better than us, don't you?
I do. Why are you judging me? But there's regular sugar, and then there's sweet and low sugar, and then there's equal, which is, it's like progressively killing you.
Worse for you.
You know what I mean? And then they have the yellow one, which I forget what that one is.
Yeah. There's yellow, blue,
red, the
pink.
The pink is the
and a green one.
The blue one.
Yeah.
Forget. The blue one is the equal.
People are very specific
about their sugars. The pink one is sweet and low. And those are with aspartame.
Yeah.
And aspartame is like made from like you really want to go into aspartame?
Tell us.
Crazy.
I know that word, and I know it's a fake sweetener, but I don't know the process or anything.
It's I don't quote me on this, but I believe it's made from the larva of flies.
Oh, Jesus. Delicious. Super sweet.
It is crazy sweet. If you've ever had
But I know it's chemical though.
Oh yeah.
And it's really, really bad for you.
Yeah.
And it's not good for your gut.
It's just it's like the worst.
It's interesting. I'll talk about Americans because I don't know too much about food other places. But we have decided that the thing that's most important is how it looks and how it tastes. And what is not important to us is how it affects our body. If it nourishes our body, if it poisons our body, we don't care about the important thing. We care about what it looks like and tastes like. In college, I took a class, product development class, and we learned about marketing. And really it was interesting, like the whole process of product development. And the marketing part truly was the most important part in product development. And what it looked like was part of marketing. So food colorings and dyes, they consider that part marketing. If it's like with yogurt, it's harder to sell a white yogurt that's strawberry flavored than it is to sell a pink yogurt that's strawberry flavored. For whatever reason, people will buy the stuff that has the dyes more than they'll buy the stuff that it needs to look a certain way. Because we're used to it.
Fruit Loops.
Yeah, exactly. So like if you had a choice between a pink yogurt with strawberries in it and a white yogurt with strawberries in it, people in America tend to buy the pink yogurt more. And so to sell more, they'll add that pink dye into it to make sure that they can sell. And it's just really, it was so interesting, the marketing part of it and what you have to do to products to make people buy them. And the dyes is one of it. It makes it fun, but it's killing us. It's ruining our bodies.
It's so bad for you. So any artificial sweetener is like people that drink Diet Coke, that's what they're drinking is aspartame. And like all gum pretty much has aspartame. Every gum.
I like gum.
Yeah. So there's one gum that I get that I keep in my car, and it has. There's another sugar that's good. I forget which one it is.
Not monk fruit.
It's not monk fruit.
Stevia.
I think it's stevia.
Yeah. Have you ever seen a stevia plant? They look like mint plant.
Oh, really?
And if you get the leaf and you chew it, it's sugary.
Oh.
Yeah, when I was making my teas for Blue Tide, I would get stevia leaves and I would dry them and I'd put it in the tea as like a sweetener. It was really good.
That's cool.
Yeah. So stevia.
We could just grow them.
Yeah, easy peasy. You could very easily grow stevia.
Grown in my own backyard.
Yep.
Well, I can see a little bit here, but I wasn't prepared to talk about it, but like sugar itself, because it's genetically modified, like to the end, in fructose corn syrup. Oh, fructose corn syrup is probably just as bad as aspartame, because fructose corn syrup is made from genetically modified corn that's made into oil. It's probably just a carcinogen. It really is just a carcinogen. Yeah. Like it literally is killing you.
And it's very addictive. The thing with sugar and very, very sugary things is that you get that brain response also in your gut. So with all of the bacteria that's in your gut, if you feed it a lot of leafy greens and vegetables, the bacteria that will thrive are the bacteria that eat that stuff. If you eat a lot of sugar and garbage, the bacteria in your gut that will thrive is the bacteria that eats that stuff. So if you're trying to get yourself off of sugar and you just have these cravings, number one, you're addicted. Number two, the bacteria in your gut is sending signals to your brain saying, feed us.
Overriding it.
Yeah, they're like, feed us. We need sugar. We need sugar, because they're going to start to die off. If you're eating more leafy greens, then those bacteria will start to take over. But it was interesting learning that, because I would have such strong sugar cravings. And I'm like, oh, this is me. I need it. And when I realized it might be my gut trying to manipulate me, I was like, I'm in charge of you. Bacteria in my gut.
Get in my belly. You start talking like fat bastard. Like, get in my belly.
Get in my belly. Oh my God, that movie. But it's, it's interesting. It's, I don't know. It's, you get addicted to it and you don't need it.
And I think that's the best thing about fasting. So like a 3-day fast will pretty much kill off so much of that stuff and that brain manipulating stuff.
Yeah, it helps you get back in charge of your brain and your body.
Yeah. After 3 days, like you get like this point of clarity. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like the second day sucks.
Yeah.
But the third day's great. You hit like a euphoric stage.
And do you just drink water? Yeah.
Yeah. 3-day fast they call it the reboot fast. So I think that's good. So any of those artificial sweeteners you want to stay away from, any of the dyes, and then fluoride. Like those I think are the big killers. You know what I mean? Also making any of your food on aluminum foil.
See, that was a big shift for us too, because foil is so bad for you. Yeah. Aluminum is bad for you. Yeah. And we're so used to cooking with it. Yeah. You line a baking sheet. You wrap your baked potatoes.
You put it on the grill.
You're putting all of those chemicals into your food. It's very bad for you.
All the mental disorders are from heavy metal exposure. Pretty much. It's like chemical exposure and heavy metal exposure. That's pretty much what's making everybody crazy.
Yeah, and we're overriding our body, or not overriding, but overloading our body with all of this stuff. And it tries to get it out, but every day, every time you open your mouth and you put something else in it, you're adding more chemicals to your body. You're slathering them on your skin, and your body's trying to get rid of it.
And then we don't even sweat anymore.
Yeah.
Because we don't work outside that much. So most people, they're inside in an air-conditioned place. They never sweat, and because they never sweat, it never comes out of their body.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so that's why I think a sauna is a really good investment.
Yeah, I want one of those. Do you want infrared or do you want the steam?
I want both. Like you could put a steam one in your shower, and then you could put a dry infrared outside.
That's a good idea.
You know, or like in the hallway. That's where I want to replace where my jacuzzi's at and put the far infrared sauna in there. That's my goal.
I like that. That's a good idea.
Yeah, and then I'll just do it like 3 times a week. Sweat it all out, you know, at least once a week.
Yeah, sweat it all out, the heat shock proteins, all of that goodness for your body.
And then you can do an ice bath.
Yeah. Ugh.
A deep plunge, you know, and that kills everything.
Yeah.
But I think, for sure, the big ones is you want to get the heavy metals out, heavy metal exposure. Also, you could do chaga.
Mm-hmm.
Chaga mushroom it's a chelator, so it takes a lot of the
heavy
metals out of your body.
When you're getting dental work done, do not let them put metal in your mouth.
Yes.
Do not do it. That's one of the things your wife was saying with some of the cavities is they wanted to do metal fillings. There are other options, and there are dentist offices that will only do metal. Do not do it. Find anybody else.
Yeah.
Do not do it. It might be more expensive, but you're putting toxins into your mouth, into your body forever, and that's going to leach into your system. And it's
your body's going to eat it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one in Albuquerque that's on all natural. They don't even do fluoride.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I met them at a farmer's market.
That is so cool. Albuquerque?
Yeah, in Albuquerque.
That's cool.
So if you want like serious dental work, that's probably where I would go.
Yeah.
You know, or yank your tooth out.
Well, there was this thing. Okay, so it's so crazy with the dental because it's so important. And you're just going along with what the doctors are telling you to do. If you get a root canal, they gut your tooth. They basically kill your tooth, but they don't tell you that. Then they fill it up with stuff, and then they put a cap on it or a crown or whatever it's called. And now you have dead matter in your gums forever.
Yeah.
There's no blood flow to that spot anymore because you've gutted it and you've killed it all.
And you kill the root. Hence the root canal.
Exactly. And so what ends up happening is your body, this is slowly decaying in your mouth, and it's causing infection. It's causing bad stuff. You don't have blood flow to that spot. So let's say you have infection and you take an antibiotic. It's not going to ever get there because there's no blood flow to it. You take the antibiotic, it puts it all in the bloodstream, and then it takes it to where the whole body basically. It's not going to go here though because there's no blood flow there. And there was a crazy percentage correlating the same side where you got a root canal to women that have breast cancer. So like I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was like 98% of women that had breast cancer on the right side also had a root canal done on the right side. So there's a lot of different things you can do with different cavities. But if it's so bad that you're going to need a root canal, like truly, just pull the tooth. Having an implant in is better because you can do dead matter.
Yeah, you can do a stainless steel implant. Make sure it's stainless steel, so it doesn't break down.
Yeah.
And
we're not doctors. Look, talk to doctors that you trust. I think the main thing I want people to understand is that there's options.
Yeah.
Because so many times you go to a dentist or a doctor's office and like, this is the only option.
Yeah.
Okay, well, no. I'm going to do some Googling. I'm going to do some research. I'm going to talk to other people.
And they get so mad.
Because they're the expert.
They think they're so
smart.
Oh,
you're going to Google. Yeah, I am. Because you're not really talking to me about all the options. That's what your wife did. She was like, okay, bye. Because they didn't want to do treatment. They only wanted to do it their way. And she's not going to let them put metal in your kid's mouth. That's not an option.
And it's funny how far my wife has gone from when I first met her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's like totally different person now.
Yeah, because we learn. And especially when you have kids, like you're in charge of making sure that they stay healthy during that time that you're in charge of them, the 20 years that they're under your wing. You got to teach them right. You got to do the right thing for them.
And that's, I think, the thing that sometimes my wife is hard for her because of all the stuff that I know. And she's like, making red pancakes for Valentine's Day for the girls.
It's adorable.
And it's super cute.
Yeah.
But it's got red dye that she's literally putting into the food.
But there are natural dyes, and there's different things like it's not actually, beetroot is a good one for red. So you could put beetroot powder in it. You could juice a beet and put some in it. And have some chocolate chips in there too to kind of like mask the taste. You don't have to put too much, but there's natural ways you can do it. And I think it's baby steps too, because you don't just like change everything today and you don't have any dyes in your
we're never going to be done.
No. Every once in a
unless
while
we're
we'll
like
eat some Doritos.
Yeah, unless we're like that one guy that I follow, the old man. That's like homesteader, you know what I mean? Like he literally is just
his stuff.
Yeah, I don't think he probably does. He probably does eat ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can make your own ice cream.
Yeah. It's very easy.
Yeah, it's not as hard as I thought it would.
No, we have an ice cream maker that it like cools.
And you're like,
it does it all. You don't need ice. You don't need rock salt. You don't need any of it. Yeah, it's a cool one. I love it. And it's pink, so it's adorable.
I love it.
I love it.
All right. Well, that's just a tidbit of all the things that you can do. Some of the guys that I like following the most is Jordan Rubin and Dr. Axe. Those two guys know their stuff.
Excellent.
They're some of my favorite. I would highly recommend going there, studying a lot of their things. A lot of the research that I did here is from that guys, and I like that they're good brothers in Christ. And I like the other guy too. I forget his name, but he's a Scientologist, so I kind of like.
Gotta be careful.
Yeah, once you're a Scientologist, like you believe anything. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
Like if you're a Scientologist, sorry.
Sorry.
But
someone had to tell you.
Like, you believe anything. You really believe in the mothership, like literally the mothership. That's kind of crazy. But he's a nice guy. I forget his name. He's real nice and he talks all soft. And what's that guy's name? Dr. Berg, I think his name. That's his name, Dr. Berg. And he's so nice and gentle, but he's got great stuff. But he's a Scientologist, and I'm like, dude, I don't know how you can believe that stuff. Yeah. So, but if you can stay away from these major things that we talked about today, just those. Yeah. Just those. Like, forget all the rest. Like, because you got to pick the thing you're going after. Yeah. So if you just do these few things, like you go after these few things, like it will be enough for you to have a really, really substantial difference in your health and a difference in the chemical exposure that you're going to do. So follow these guys for more information, and like and subscribe. Hit us up on social, and if you have some questions or things that you want to know about, drop them in the comments. We'd love to communicate with you guys there. We try and stay in the comments, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Bye-bye.